Hello, everyone. I'm Holly Days.
And I'm Nick Jolly.
And you're watching the one, the only
North Pole News! We're reporting to you live in the coldest place on Earth.
That's right, Nick. It's
the
North Pole.
Hey, speaking of poles, that reminds me, it's time to take our North Pole poll.
That's right, Nick. Today's viewers will have a chance to participate in the North Pole poll. We're making pole history.
Today's question is, drumroll please.
If you were given a very special Christmas present, would you rather have $1 million or an A on every test you take from now till you graduate?
Audience, if you would rather receive a gift of $1 million, take your hands like this and rub your fingers together like you have some cash to spend. And if you would rather have an A+, 100% on every test from now until you graduate, go ahead and put your finger up like this and make a 10.
Wow, Nick, what a fun question today. I know for me personally, I'd rather have $1 million. That way I could buy all of my loved ones all the Christmas presents.
That is fantastic. I know that I would want to get 100% A+ on every test from now until I graduate. That would be awesome.
Yes, I can see how that would be a great gift. But I think that I can speak for everyone here today and say that both of these gifts are kind of impossible to get.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of impossible, we have Carol Link on location with Ralphie the Reindeer's owner. For those of you that haven't heard about Ralphie the Reindeer, he disobeyed his owner by eating some apples that were clearly marked "Do not eat." Because of Ralphie's disobedience, he was kicked out of the barn. However, Ralphie has now run away, and Ralphie's owner believes that it will be impossible to find him. Let's find out some more. Carol?
Carol Link here reporting live from the Reindeer Barn. I'm here with Douglas Pine, Ralphie's owner. Now, Mr. Pine, tell us exactly what happened on the day that Ralphie disobeyed.
Well, you see, I'd put those apples in the barn with a sign that said, "Do not eat." I warned the reindeer not to eat the apples, but next thing I knew, Ralphie was over there eating them.
Uh-oh, then what happened?
Well, you see, the consequences for disobeying in my barn is that you spend the night outside. So I kicked Ralphie out. I was just trying to teach him a lesson, but now he's run away, and there's no telling where he is.
Oh no! Do you know where he might be?
I don't have a clue. He could be anywhere. With the millions of other reindeer in the North Pole, I'll never find him.
Well, Mr. Pine, there are a lot of reindeer in the North Pole, and finding Ralphie might be difficult, but I think it's possible.
Afraid not, Carol. Ralphie could be long gone, or he could be hiding in the snow, or he could be stuck somewhere. Finding a reindeer in the North Pole is like trying to find your Christmas presents before Christmas. It's impossible.
Now, I wouldn't say it's impossible, Mr. Pine, but it does seem like you're in quite a pickle.
What's going on?
You're going to meet my friends, the elves.
Hi, I'm Joe.
My name is Mo.
I'm Boo.
Did we hear someone say pickle?
That's our cue to come running. We can help you solve any problem.
Yup.
What seems to be the problem today? Out of jelly beans?
Did you lose your belly button?
Are all your pins out of ink? No, none of that happened. I just had to kick Ralphie the reindeer out of my barn because he was disobeying my rules. Now he's run away, and finding him is going to be impossible.
Impossible?
That's not a word we like to use.
No siree.
Mr. Pine, do you really think it's going to be impossible to find Ralphie?
Yep, there's no sign of him, and all this fresh new snow has covered his tracks. I have no idea where he is.
All right, guys, you know what we have to do.
Hooray!
Ready!
Whenever there's a problem, there's only one place to find the answers.
The
Bible!
And we know the perfect story to help you out.
Now everyone huddle up.
Mr. Pine, we're going to show you exactly why seeing Ralphie again is in fact possible.
Lean in. God sent an angel named Gabriel to the town of Nazareth in Galilee. A young woman named Mary lived there. Mary did not have a husband. The angel told Mary,
"Don't be afraid. God is pleased with you, and you will have a son. His name will be Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of God Most High.
Gabriel was telling Mary that she was going to have a baby, and that this baby was going to be the Son of God. Mary was confused. She thought this was impossible. She said,
"But how can this be? I'm not married yet."
The angel answered. He said,
The Holy Spirit will come down to you, and God's power will come over you.
Mary still didn't fully understand, but she believed that nothing is impossible for God. She said,
"I am the Lord's servant. Let it happen as you have said."
Even though Mary didn't understand how God would give her a baby, she knew that it would happen because nothing is impossible for God.
The end.
You see, Mr. Pine, Mary thought her situation seemed impossible, and she didn't believe that God could make it happen.
But she knew that
Nothing is impossible for God.
And you can believe that too.
even though it seems impossible that you'll ever see Ralphie again,
You can believe that nothing is impossible for God.
We hope you learn about what God can do.
farewell.
Ta-ta!
Hasta la vista, baby.
Oh, I am so excited you got to meet my friends.
How long have they been in there?
Oh, don't worry about that. The elves are always near when there's something we need to hear.
Well, they certainly did help me.
Oh, well, please explain.
You see, when Ralphie went missing, I thought it'd be impossible to find him. But now I know that nothing's impossible for God. I think we might just find him after all.
That's great, Mr. Pine. We've learned a very important lesson today. Nothing is impossible for God. I'm Carol Ling, reporting live from the Reindeer Barn. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Carol. It's nice seeing those elf friends of yours back again today.
It's very clear that nothing is impossible for God. Now, while we're thinking about Ralphie the reindeer being outside, let's look at what our weather looks like.
Thanks, Holly. It's pretty obvious that there's been a serious blizzard hitting the North Pole. After weeks of waiting for what seemed more and more impossible, the snow clouds have finally arrived. We don't have to wait and wonder anymore.
Wow, what great news! It looks like the snow's going to be sticking around for quite some time.
Stick around! Because snow sticks to the ground.
It wasn't supposed to be funny, man.
Oh, well, I thought it was.
Let's look at the rest of the 5-day forecast.
Thank you so much, Holly. As you can see, temperatures will remain cold and it continue to be cloudy for quite a while. Monday through Thursday will continue to be cold. Cold. At this point, we could only hope for some snow. Hey, Holly, speaking of snow, do you know what you get when you get a lot of snowballs?
You get a bunch of snowflakes.
No, you get a snowstorm!
Gosh, Nick, we have the news to report. Let's move on to today's stories.
We asked you, our viewers, to send in pictures of you having fun in the snow, and here are some of the results.
Susie from Cranberry Street sent in this snow angel. The wing detail is quite nice, very angelic.
Next, we have a snowman from Jerry B on Kit Kat Lane. He looks quite jolly.
And then we have another snow angel from Donnie over at 5th Avenue. This one has excellent coverage and a great wingspan.
And finally, the winner of them all was this giant snowman from Belinda on Bellevue Road. I can hardly believe it, Holly. The snowman is as big as her house. I wonder how she got all the way up there. Maybe aliens helped her. It's hard to believe a human could build that.
That is hard to believe, Nick. It's almost impossible to build a snowman that big.
There sure do seem to be a lot of impossible things going on in the North Pole lately.
Our next story is a bizarre one indeed. Several weeks ago, we received a report about a missing snowman's nose. The builder of the snowman believed that the snatch happened in the middle of the night, and later the next morning, they found some strange animal tracks around the snowman.
To be honest, the North Pole News was really not intrigued in this story until after we found out that the builders replaced the first nose with a second nose, and that nose went missing too.
The owners became concerned for the other snowmen in the area, and that's when the North Pole News got involved. We worked with the local authorities to set up hidden cameras around the area to see if we could catch the nose snatcher. Later that evening, 2 deer were caught on camera, and the investigators are led to believe that the tracks belonged to them. One of the authorities believed that one of the deer was Ralphie, the missing reindeer. We hoped that Ralphie wouldn't go around snatching noses, but it would be great to see a sign of Ralphie's whereabouts. No one can confirm this information, though.
No way! I don't think that's Ralphie. He would never do that. Nope. Ralphie would not snatch Snowman's noses. I just don't believe it. That's impossible.
Well, Nick, not so fast. Nothing is impossible. We just don't know for sure.
In other news, we have a local family who worked together to do something that's never been thought possible.
The Tinselton family worked together to make the largest pot of vegetable soup ever made. This was all inspired by the youngest member of the Tinselton family. The little girl wanted to get everyone in the North Pole together for dinner. This has never happened because it always seemed impossible to make that much food for so many people.
Of course, when North Pole News heard about this story, we had to be the first ones on the scene. We even got a picture of Mr. Tinselton putting in the last spices in his soup. I have to say, Holly, that is some of the best soup I have ever tasted. I can't believe that one family got together to do something that seemed impossible.
That soup was delicious. You can definitely tell by today's stories that this season is a season of unexpected. While so many things seem impossible, we've learned that nothing is impossible for God.
That's true, Holly. Now it's time for our next part of our show. It's game time! My goodness, that was such a fun game. And now it's time for sports! Seven-year-old Grant has always wanted to go to an Angels vs. Giants game. Well, this year his dream came true and he was able to go.
The Angels haven't had the greatest season, and they had to win this game against the Giants in order to qualify for the championships. The whole crowd held their breath as the newest member, Phil Batter, came up to bat. It was the bottom of the ninth, and the score was tied. The Angels already had 2 outs, so Phil's hit could either win them the game or take them into extra innings.
Although it seemed impossible for the brand new member to bring a victory for the team, the crowd watched in anticipation as he stepped up to the batter's plate and he hit the ball and it was going, and gone! It was a home run for the record books.
Not only did the Angels achieve the impossible by winning the game, but Grant was actually able to capture the ball as it came up over the fence. And we were there to get a picture with him and the ball.
How exciting for Grant. That must have been a great day for him. And that's our broadcast for today. It's been a pleasure to report all of these impossible things to you.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Holly Days.
And I'm Nick Jolly.
And we hope to see you here tomorrow on
The North Pole News. Have a jolly day.